People talk about bad fathers in anime all the time. People like to accuse Goku of not being the best father for leaving Gohan and Goten behind. People like to talk about Gon's father at the end of the day, that, you know, he was just an asshole and he did everything he possibly could to not be around Gon and shit like that. There's some bad fathers in anime and manga, but Sasuke Uchiha, you meet your daughter. I said this in my live reaction. I'll say it again. What the fuck, bro? Like, that was just... I understand the circumstances. I totally get it. He is right now paranoid. That Shin motherfucker came at him. The circumstances with Sarada's eyes, seemingly, or whatever. But damn, bro, that's not the way you meet your daughter. Like, just imagine going on fucking Mori, meeting your daughter for the first time, and you're like, bitch, who the fuck are you? And you pull a sword out on her, bitch. So, yeah, but we're doing doubles real quick, so I gotta talk about the last week's chapter, which, honestly, every chapter of Naruto Gaiden has been exciting or interesting at the very least in one way or another, and that's really fucking good that I can say so far 4 chapters in, and every chapter has given us something, whether it's just progression, something interesting, a little plot twist, some new developments or whatever. That's good shit. Although I will say one thing, and I've said this already a couple different times, but Boruto, as of right now, is irrelevant as fuck. Like, in the movie, he's gonna be big, and it's all about Boruto, Naruto, the movie, whatever, but he's really irrelevant as fuck. Like, what is he really doing? Like, in one of the chapters, like the latest chapter, he wasn't even mentioned. In 703, it was mainly him bringing lunch, and then he got shut down or whatever, and we're getting a little more into his character. You can see he clearly cares a lot about his mom, and he doesn't like the fact that his father is ditching them, but honestly, with his problems, and I've stated it before, it just really isn't the biggest deal. It just really isn't. Daddy doesn't want to, you know, pay much attention to you, or Daddy can't. It's not that he doesn't want to, because Naruto, he's a good guy, whatever. He loves his kids, I'm sure. He's busy. And to be honest with you, kind of going into it, and maybe I'm looking a little deeper than what it really is, but if you look at the story in and of itself of Naruto, I almost feel as though a lot of these events are reflections of Kishimoto's life. If you think about it, he was bullied as a kid, he wanted to become something great, and he did. He made one of the most popular manga of all time, kind of like Naruto going from a scrub that everybody looked down on and became the Hokage. What if Boruto is kind of a reflection of what's going on with Kishimoto in his life, and the fact that maybe his kid wanted his dad's attention, always like, hey, come on, dad, and he was always busy writing his manga or whatever, and maybe that was the inspiration for Boruto. I don't know, I just thought of something like that. Wouldn't be too far-fetched to think. Quickly talking about Mitsuki yet again, even though that was from 703 or whatever, but Mitsuki definitely has like a similar personality to Sai, I would say. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of connection between him and Shin and all that shit that's going on, but I think more so Mitsuki and Boruto and all that stuff is going to be explored in Boruto the movie, so it's kind of just like introducing him, like, here, this character exists. Later on, you'll get to know more about him. What's up with the little Jubi looking thing with the fucking Sharingan eye or whatever? Kind of looks like Migi from Parasite, but it also looks like the Jubi, like little pieces of it. And the mystery just keeps on unraveling. And I'll have a full-on video because I really am really interested in regards to what's going on with this whole mystery or whatever. But definitely looks a little bit like the Jubi. And at the same time, it got to make you wonder, where are all these Sharingan eyes coming from? Toby's lab. Toby's lab. That's one of the biggest possibilities or whatever, because like, the thing that makes me wonder, and I really hope it's not a plot hole, is how does he have the space-time jutsu or whatever, you know, the Kamui that Obito had, because he took those eyes to the grave. Them shits don't exist no more. So how did that little Jubi thing have it? Unless these are still pieces of the Jubi that was left behind, and somebody got their hands on it, somebody made an artificial Jubi. There's many possibilities or whatever. And again, I'm kind of talking about both chapters at the same time or whatever, because Shin has the Mangekyo already, which for a little kid, at the end of the day, he outclasses probably all of the new generation. I think it would take all of the new generation trying to jump him, and I think he'd still fuck all of them up, because based on what was said, like, I think the little Jubi thing, which it's kind of playing as like a weird Zetsu in a way, like coming forth and saying, hey, this and that or whatever, but he said Naruto is like the only one that, you know, you don't want to fuck with or whatever. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, was he referring to just of the kids that are right there with Naruto, or is he talking about in general, like, Shin will fuck up almost anybody? I mean, he has the Mangekyo. Who knows how much training he's been through? He's probably been through a lot. He's Uchiha. Yeah, Shin is probably a badass. And finding out that Shin and the hooded dude, which a lot of people are suspecting could be Shisui, it could be the sewings on the eyes or whatever, are father and son. So this could potentially be, and again, if he's an Uchiha, it could be that he's a mixed breed. It could be that he calls him his son or father or whatever, but he's really just a creation. It could be that that hooded guy is Orochimaru that finally somehow got in Uchiha's body. There's many possibilities or whatever, but definitely finding out the fact that that's father and son, it makes things a little bit more interesting, and it makes you really question, like, if it is Shisui, would he really go that far? Would he really be that fucked up or whatever to do this over Itachi's death when Shisui seeked nothing but peace, even to his death? And the fact that seemingly what was said in 703, I believe, is the whole cast is here, let's go do this. Like, regarding the whole cast, who do they mean by that? Do they mean Sarada? Do they mean that Sasuke was there and they want Sarada and Sasuke? Are they trying to get Sarada so they can make a brand new Uchiha revival? Maybe they think that Sarada is 100% Uchiha or something. Kind of makes you wonder exactly how far do they know and what's their purpose for wanting Sarada. Is it just out of revenge? Use her as like ransom or something? Why do you want Sarada? And the whole elephant in the room regarding, and no pun intended there, Chocho. I've been bagging on her in my live reactions, and I'm not gonna lie. I think it's funny to do it because at the end of the day, when there's a serious story going on, and I'm really invested in everything going on, while I understand the point of her is to lighten things up, the comedic relief with all the little jokes, the food shit, the daddy shit or whatever, etc., it takes away from serious moments when I'm like really excited, like, oh, Sarada's finally finding out, and then Chocho's like, motherfucker, can I get some food? Like, it just blows me out of the fucking mood, and I'm just like, shut up and move. So it's not that I hate the character. I think some of the things that we've seen as far as like the little fight that she had with Shin or whatever, where she expanded or whatever, she could be something cool, and potentially her whole little daddy issues will be resolved. I can almost promise you I can see her seeing Choji and her mother do something epic and totally changing her outlook on that stuff. But it's not that like I hate the character in particular. I hate the fact that she's involved in something that is so exciting and interesting, and she's just like doing, you know, she just doesn't fit right now is what I feel. And again, no pun intended, into the whole situation in a good way, because it's just like, I want to be with the interesting stuff. I don't want to hear her problems when they're just minuscule. It's kind of like if Boruto was on this journey. Boruto really, aside from like his dad's attention, there's not much really interesting at the moment anyway regarding Boruto. So I think that there's a time and place for Chocho, and if it was more smaller, if she was more quiet, maybe she didn't talk too much, it wouldn't be as bad. But the fact that she's constantly chiming in and shit, I don't know, it's supposed to be comedic, and sometimes it is kind of somewhat of a chuckle, but it just takes me out of the moment. And then in 704, finding out, first of all, Naruto hasn't had a fight in a long time, and the first appearance of Kurama in the spinoff, which, that was cool. I wish we would have get to see more, although I don't think we're really going to see too much of Kurama, because I don't think really he's changed too much as far as like looks. I mean, how much is a demon fox really going to change or whatever? But it makes me wonder, when was the last time that Naruto actually had a fight? The way Kurama was talking is like, motherfucker, you ain't fighting in a long time, pa, and you know, I ain't get to stretch my muscles in a long time. So either, because there was two different translations, one of them said like, I haven't got to get out and stretch for a long time. So it could be that Naruto hasn't had to go full force in a really long time, and that's what he meant by that. Or it could be that Naruto's just been sitting on his ass as Hokage for a long time. That's something that definitely can be explored in, like, you know, stories in between or whatever the case they decide to do, maybe the anime, whatever the case may be. So that's kind of interesting as well. Like, Naruto might be rusty. Naruto might be weaker than he's ever been because he hasn't really had to do much. But honestly, the transformation, the QB mode that he went through, the art looks sick there, and it's just awesome to fucking see that. Although I still question why Sasuke has like the Renny Sharingan or whatever, even though he seemingly can turn it off or whatever, and which those were like given by like the Sage of Six Paths power, but Naruto seemingly doesn't have the Sage of Six Paths power. So that kind of makes me wonder, like, does he have it and he just really doesn't use it, or what's up with that? Or is it just too OP so they don't really want him to have that anymore, and just kind of Kishimoto writing it out, which would really be disappointing if that's the case. It's just like, it's too much, we take it away. Kind of made me wonder a little bit, and I know that Naruto's Hokage and he doesn't really have time to think about each and everything or whatever, but when he addressed Sarada, he was like, oh, Sarada can tell you more about her father. Why wouldn't he have known immediately? Like, I think, like, especially the fact that Sasuke was like, you know, his best friend or whatever the case may be, I think he would know a little bit more and be 100% aware, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't say something like that because, you know, Sasuke's never really been around. And I think for a certain point, I think Sasuke knows he has a daughter, because people are saying, oh no, Sasuke doesn't know he has a daughter. I think Sasuke definitely does, but maybe for a small period of time, up until maybe Sarada was like 2 or something, or 3, and she can't remember, he was around, and maybe it was just on and off and stuff like that, and then he just didn't want, because a lot of people are speculating, which I definitely think would be really interesting, if he's pulling in Itachi, and there's for some reason that he's just keeping her at a distance and keeping her at bay. Maybe he doesn't want her to go through that. Maybe he never wanted her to activate Sharingan because he knows that it's through pain and he doesn't want his daughter to go through what he went through. I'm sorry, it was lame as fuck, Naruto bragging himself up and trying to put himself on equal level as Sasuke was back in the academy days. Like, those are like little 12-year-olds, bro. You're Hokage. That was lame. I'm sorry, Naruto, but sit the fuck down with that one. And the fact that Naruto still sees Sasuke as a rival yet again makes me question the power levels. I mean, he will always be his rival because, you know, they were rivals from when they were younger, even the academy days or whatever, but it makes me wonder, like, will we ever get a rematch? I would love adult Naruto versus Sasuke, even if it's for, like, friendly things or whatever. Can we get that? That would be fucking awesome. And in 704, getting to see Sarada seemingly activate her Sharingan, which is weird the way it was done, because it was like one was Mangekyo and one was regular Sharingan. What's up with that? Could it be because of her genes? Again, we speculate that she's Uzumaki because we think that Karin is her real mother, which could explain the split. Maybe that's why. Maybe one eye is stronger than the other. Maybe there's something weird. Maybe she's not really Sasuke's daughter at all. Who the hell knows? Maybe those are eye transplants is what I'm trying to say, because I mean, at the end of the day, let's be real here. We don't fucking know what's going on in the Naruto universe. There's just so many unexplained things, and the pacing, I will say one thing right now, the pacing for Naruto Gaiden, and especially these past 2 chapters, have been insane. In 704, Sarada already met Sasuke, which I thought was going to be towards the end we were going to see that, which seemingly anyway. So yeah, as far as pacing goes, very fast paced, and I like that. I don't want to fucking struggle week to week waiting for something. And then of course at the very end, the whole meeting between Sarada and Sasuke, honestly, it was crazy as fuck, because like, that's how you meet your father, assuming again that that's even him, assuming again, you know, we don't know what's going on right now, but just wow. I mean, for starters, that means that Sasuke hasn't seen her in a real long time. Or he suspects that maybe they know of her and they're trying to trick him or whatever. But I wonder how that's going to go down. Like, is he going to leave? Because I think Kishimoto's going to prolong this. I think it's going to be a while before Sasuke once again kind of sees her. Maybe something's going to happen where he's going to leave. Maybe he's going to say, you don't know nothing, knock her out, and then Naruto's going to show up and she's going to be just totally traumatized. Like, why would my father do that to me when I just met him or whatever? So I think this is going to be prolonged. By the way, epic shit at the end. And to be honest with you, these were both very good chapters. I would say arguably the latest one, I don't know. They both like had their really good parts and then kind of the slow parts, like the downtime of them just sitting down or whatever. And then in 703, it kind of had like, you know, them running. So they both had their downtimes and they both have their uptime, because like the whole stuff in 703 with, you know, finding out Shin's father and like a lot of different things. And then this one with Sarada meeting Sasuke. So they were honestly both very good to great chapters. Yet again, like there's just, maybe it might be too fast paced. And there might be some things, again, the biggest thing is Chocho being the glaring problem, but aside from that, very good stuff. Let me know what you guys think, though. The whole mystery Shin and his father. What do you think about Sasuke? I mean, that motherfucker, I'm sorry, like, he's gonna be up there for top worst fathers in anime and manga. I'm sorry, that's just too fucked up. Poor little girl, man. She almost felt more happier with Naruto patting her than meeting her father. Wow. And just your overall thoughts. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.